What they say is that when two elephants fight, the grass suffers. For years, that has been the painful reality in Nigeria's northeast. Innocent people crushed between forces far bigger and more brutal than them. But today, something shocking and almost unbelievable is happening. The elephants are fighting, and for once, the grass is not in the middle. The people of Borno are watching from a distance as the very monsters that terrorize their lives turn their guns on each other. This is not rumor. This is not propaganda. This is happening right now. As of this morning, Friday, January 9, 2026, the Sambisa forest and the Mandara mountain range have become scenes of unimaginable carnage. Boko Haram is not fighting the Nigerian army. ISWAP is not engaging soldiers. Instead, these two terrorist giants are locked in a vicious civil war, and the death toll is already running into the hundreds. Social media is on fire. Security circles are buzzing. Locals near the forest are whispering in fear and disbelief. What we are witnessing is the implosion of terror itself. Groups that claim to fight for the same religion, with the same slogans, and quote the same scriptures are now slaughtering each other with heavy weapons like sworn enemies. Anti-aircraft guns. Rocket-propelled grenades. Coordinated assaults. This is no minor clash. This is all-out war. And the big question everyone is asking is simple: what suddenly pushed them over the edge? To understand this bloodbath, you have to go deep into the heart of the forest, into the rugged, unforgiving terrain of Sambisa and the Mandara mountains. On one side stands the Boko Haram faction, often linked to the Boduma fighters and loyalists of the late Abubakar Sheko. Hardened, ruthless, and known for their scorched-earth tactics. On the other side is ISWAP, the Islamic State West Africa province, a more structured group with external backing and international terror networks behind it. These two have never truly trusted each other. Their hatred has been simmering for years. But what has exploded now is not just ideology. It is survival. According to multiple security and local intelligence sources, ISWAP launched a calculated and aggressive raid on a Boko Haram camp. The target was clear: weapons, food supplies, and strategic territory. Boko Haram, already under pressure, did not retreat. They responded with a level of brutality that shocked even seasoned observers of the insurgency. Camps were overrun. Fighters were ambushed. Entire units were wiped out in hours. What followed was chaos. Forest paths littered with bodies. Makeshift bases reduced to ashes. Gunfire echoing through the mountains day and night. Locals near areas like the Gwoza Hills report hearing explosions so loud they shook the ground. Places that were already symbols of fear have now turned into full-scale slaughterhouses. And this is where the irony becomes impossible to ignore. For years, one of the loudest voices calling for dialogue with these groups has been Sheikh Ahmad Gumi. He repeatedly argued that these fighters were misunderstood, aggrieved, and deserving of negotiations rather than bullets. He warned against military solutions and pushed for amnesty and peace talks. But now, the same groups he begged Nigerians to sympathize with are butchering each other over power, territory, and resources. As of today, Sheikh Gumi has not released an official statement addressing this specific clash. But across the north, a quiet shift is happening. Many who once supported dialogue are beginning to ask uncomfortable questions. How do you negotiate with people who do not value even the lives of their own brothers? How do you preach peace to men who seem addicted to violence itself? The calls for "stop the killing" now sound hollow when the killers are destroying themselves. But let's not romanticize what is happening, because beneath this violent spectacle lies a very dangerous reality. Analysts believe this war is being driven by desperation. The Nigerian military has been tightening the noose. Supply routes have been cut. Food is scarce. Fuel is limited. Money is drying up. These groups are starving, weakened, and under immense pressure. And like cornered animals, they have turned on each other. ISWAP wants Boko Haram stockpiles. Boko Haram wants ISWAP's territory. Both want to survive at any cost. Early estimates suggest that more than 200 fighters have already been killed in just a few days. And those are conservative figures. Many bodies are lying in areas too dangerous for anyone to reach. No burial. No identification. Just death swallowed by the forest. At first glance, this may sound like good news. After all, fewer terrorists means fewer attacks on innocent people, right? But experts are urging caution. When terror groups fracture, they don't disappear, they splinter. And splinter groups are unpredictable. Fighters who lose their camps may flee into villages, blend into civilian populations, or launch desperate attacks on soft targets to prove they still matter. There is also a massive strategic concern. The Mandara Mountains sit along the Nigeria-Cameroon border. Whoever dominates that terrain gains a near-natural fortress. It is rugged, difficult to access, and incredibly hard for conventional forces to penetrate. Full control of that region could give one group a long-term advantage, which is why the Nigerian Air Force and Military High Command are watching every move carefully. There is an old saying in warfare, never interrupt your enemy when he is making a mistake. Many believe the military is allowing these groups to bleed themselves, weaken their ranks, and exhaust their ammunition before stepping in with a decisive mop-up operation. Let them fight. Let them fall. Then finish what remains. But this brings us to you. Should the Nigerian army strike now while they are distracted and vulnerable? Or should they stay back and let these groups completely destroy each other? Is this infighting a miracle, or just the calm before an even more dangerous storm? As smoke rises over Sambisa and gunfire echoes through the Mandara Mountains, one truth is impossible to escape. The ideology that fueled Boko Haram and ISWAP is consuming itself. They began by murdering innocent Nigerians, burning villages, and spreading fear. Now, they are ending by killing one another in the same forest they once ruled with terror. History may record this moment as a turning point, or as a warning. If you found this update eye-opening and you truly hope for lasting peace in the Northeast, show your support. Share this story. Let people know what is really happening. Stand with the troops holding the line while the enemy tears itself apart.